Strong drink, strong spirits, the demonic reality of vodka, gin, and Hennessy. You've heard me speak about alcohol before, but we need to go deeper. Because there's a reason hard liquor, vodka, gin, Hennessy is different. There's a reason they call them spirits. That's not a coincidence. That's not just marketing. That's spiritual law. When you consume strong drink, you are literally opening a door in the spirit realm, and the one who steps through isn't the Holy Spirit. These drinks aren't just hurting bodies. They're destroying souls. And what breaks my heart is how casual we've gotten about it. People laugh about shots, celebrate drunken nights, brag about what they don't even remember. But heaven isn't laughing. Demons aren't laughing either, because they know what's really happening. They know they've been given access. Now some will say, but isn't all alcohol the same? No, the Bible makes distinctions. Wine is one thing, beer is another, but strong drink, that's in its own category. Proverbs 22:1 says, wine is a mocker. Strong drink is raging, and whoever is deceived thereby is not wise. Notice the words, strong drink doesn't just mock you, it rages. It takes over. It doesn't creep in slowly like wine or beer. It hits hard. One shot of vodka, gin, or Hennessy, and the defenses are gone. Your filter's gone. Your guardrails are down. That's why people do things on hard liquor they wouldn't even consider sober. And here's the spiritual law. When self-control is surrendered, a spirit takes control. The Bible tells us in Ephesians 5:18, do not get drunk with wine, which leads to debauchery. Instead, be filled with the Spirit. You're always filled with something. If it's not the Holy Spirit, it will be another spirit. Hard liquor makes sure of that. Let's get specific. Vodka, gin, Hennessy. These aren't just drinks, they're assignments. Vodka often comes with coldness. It numbs, it hardens, it silences conviction. Gin, called the mad spirit in old times, has long been tied to rage and destruction. Whole communities in Europe were torn apart when gin took hold. Hennessy, glamorized in rap and hip-hop culture, is tied to lust, pride, and violence. It's not just alcohol. It's a gateway, a brand the enemy uses to spread specific spirits. And here's what's happening in the unseen. Every time you down it, you're aligning with those spirits. You're giving permission. You're writing a contract with your own lips and your own bloodstream saying, I hand over control. Now let's talk about where this stuff flows the most: bars and clubs. Have you noticed the atmosphere? Dim lights, heavy beats, people packed together in darkness. Lust in the air, violence one argument away. Addiction hiding in every corner. That's not an accident. That's a spiritual ecosystem. Bars and clubs are temples where strong drink is the communion, and demons are the priests. People come thirsty and they leave chained. Look at the patterns. How many hookups start after shots? How many fights break out after gin or Hennessy? How many regrets begin with, I don't even remember last night? Family, that's not just bad decisions. That's demonic influence. Because once you're drunk, the demon doesn't need to ask permission. You've already given it. Here's the part we can't ignore. There are spiritual laws in place. God set them, and even Satan has to work within them. The law is simple. You become a slave to whatever masters you. Romans 6:16 says, Don't you know that when you offer yourselves to someone as obedient slaves, you are slaves of the one you obey, whether you are slaves to sin, which leads to death, or to obedience, which leads to righteousness. When you consume strong drink, you're obeying its call. You're stepping under its influence. And by spiritual law, that makes you a slave to it. That's why so many can't stop at one shot. That's why addiction feels unbreakable. Because the spirit behind the bottle has a legal right to keep pulling you back. God never designed us to be vessels for drunken spirits. He designed us to be temples of the Holy Spirit. Notice the parallel, Ephesians 5:18. Don't be drunk with wine, but be filled with the Spirit. That's not just advice. That's spiritual law. You can only be filled with one or the other. So when someone takes shots of vodka, gin, Hennessy, they're saying, I'd rather be filled with this spirit than with God's spirit. That's rebellion. That's idolatry. That's dangerous ground. So let me say it plain. Strong drink isn't just strong alcohol. It's a stronghold. Vodka, gin, Hennessy. They're not just beverages. They're battlegrounds. And every time a person picks them up, they're picking sides, whether they realize it or not. The question is, who's filling you? The counterfeit spirits in a bottle or the true spirit of the living God? Because one leads to chains, the other leads to freedom. One kills the soul, the other saves it for eternity. It's time to close the bar, put down the bottle, and open your heart to Christ. Because only one spirit leads to life.